When it comes to outreach, everybody really focuses on just sending out that one message. And we call that slamming and jamming DMs on Insta, and that is not a good way to practice outreach. That's why we talked about the 6 steps to pre-qualify your prospects. Today, we're going to talk about how to craft the DM so it can relate to each and every single one of those platforms that you find those prospects on. So let's roll that intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Copy Shop Video Podcast. I'm your host. I've been the owner of the outdoor writing company for over 25 years and the owner, creator, and lead instructor here at the Copy Shop. Our intro covered a little bit about what we're going to be talking about, which is how to craft your DM. Now, before, we covered the 6 steps to how to pre-qualify your prospect, and disruptive writing, creative, persuasive, a few of those in there. We really didn't touch too much upon how to craft your DM. We're going to cover that today. And it's very interesting because most people, they don't pay attention to how they are crafting that direct message. When we do our pre-qualified or our prospects, we find them on all the different social media platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, cold email, their own website. That's what we want. We want to make sure that they're engaged out there on social media platforms. When we conduct deep research into our pre-qualified customers, that's when we see their interaction level. What is their engagement levels like? Do they respond quickly or do they wait a week or so to respond to comments on their post? The sooner they comment and respond, that means the more engaged and active they are with the people that are viewing their content. That's what we want. Now, if we're looking at Instagram and Instagram only, you're missing the full picture of prospecting and outreach. You have to send a message, a direct message, a cold email to every place you find that prospect at. All social media platforms, on their website, their cold email, whatever you can find is where you're going to send those messages. Now, there is a skill set to this because you're going to be doing it all at once. You're not going to send the DM to Instagram on Monday, the direct message to Facebook on Tuesday, on YouTube send them a message on Wednesday. No, you're going to do it all at the same time, and you're going to keep track of that. We talk in detail about doing all this inside the Professional Outreach and Strategic Follow-Ups program. But this is a little indicator of how to craft that DM, which is very important. Let's use Instagram as an example. We know that the Instagram platform is a quick hit and miss communication. Boom, boom, boom. Real quick, real fast. Our message has to be relatable to that. It can't be a full-on paragraph because they're not going to pay attention to that. They're too busy if they're active. And they know when they see a paragraph that it's going to be some type of a sales approach to them. We don't want to do that. We also don't want to use some of this really lame ideas out there. Yo, bro, like your post. No, that's not going to do it either. You want to sound professional at all times. Now, we're going to use me and the Outdoor Writing Company as an example of how to craft your DM and where that information comes from. I find XYZ Fishing Lure Company. They meet my pre-qualification based on the 6 steps we talked about earlier. And I've also conducted some deep research into them to find out more about who they are, who they sell to, and basically more about their company. Because you're going to need that info. So I have all this information, and I find out that there are a prime candidate for me to sell my services to, which we're going to focus on just email marketing or digital marketing at this time. Now, I signed up for their emails, and I received them because they have automatic. Their email service provider, or what is called an ESP, is programmed to relay that information. I received the email. Welcome to XYZ Fishing Lures. Thank you for taking the time out to subscribe to our emails and newsletters. And then it'll tell you more and more about what they do. This is what we want to look at. And this is what we are going to read, decipher, see if there's any way to improve upon it, and how we can help them. We're going to take the notes and we're going to put those notes off to the side, either handwritten notes or digital notes, however you feel comfortable doing it. We find out that, yeah, there is something that we can help them with. Their welcome emails are not engaging enough. They're not attention enough. They don't talk about their products, their goods or services, and which is what we want them to do. So how do we convey this message to them? Yo, bro, like your post, your fishing lures kick butt. No. You want to find out a connection there, a person, preferably a person. But if you can't find the person's name, or maybe even the marketing director's name, or somebody who's in charge, more or less, let's just say I find John at XYZ Fishing Lures. I don't know John's position, but his name came up on the website, on Instagram, on YouTube. So that name is in the social media area. So I'm going to attach my direct message with that name. John, Jeff here from the Outdoor Writing Company. Came across XYZ Fishing Lures, and I got to say, I am intrigued. So I signed up for your emails and newsletters. I got your email, and I think I can help you gain more customer retention. I think something can be done differently. Have you thought of something different? Real quick and precise. You don't want to go on and on and on about anything. I had the greeting. I introduced myself, told them what I did, and came up with a suggestion. That's going to be your Instagram one. Real quick, real precise. When you go to Facebook, you're going to do the same thing, but add a little bit more to it, because Facebook recognizes and allows more words to be added to a message than Instagram does. Hear me out here. Facebook is a different platform. It has a different overall feel and touch to it. A lot of different groups use Facebook. A lot of seniors use Facebook. So it has to be more augmented to those various groups. Where Instagram is quick, hit, miss. There's the difference. Knowing the platform is how you can create your DM. I hope this is sinking in here. So we're going to take that same DM we sent to Instagram, and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit for the Facebook side. And I'm going to mention exact details. Got your newsletter. Was not informative. Did you think about adding promo sales to your newsletters? telling your readers what's on sale, what is upcoming, what's happening next. Things of that nature. You're giving them ideas that they may not have thought of, or they maybe have possibly thought of doing but haven't quite got there yet, or pulled the trigger on it, or haven't had the time or money to hire somebody. That's 2 examples. Instagram, short, fat, hit and miss, boom, boom, in and out. And Facebook, a little bit longer of a description. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube, totally different. It's a visual platform. Instagram is as well, so is Facebook. YouTube is primarily visual. So their content is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be longer. It's going to be more in depth. And it's going to be, hopefully, their content is persuasive. If it's not, that's why we're here, to help them out. So our message, our comment on the video is going to be different than it is anywhere else. Now, comments to videos do get read. However, they are not as engaging as sending a message on the platform. We want to do both. If we're looking at one of the videos, I'm watching John from XYZ Fishing Lures, and they're throwing their new swim bait out, and they're catching big striped bass. Okay? And they're filming it, talking about how the lure moves, what it attracts, the different, the refractions in the water column and how it changes colors. And they're pretty precise on what they do. My comment would be, this looks good. How does it work for freshwater reservoirs with stripers? It's a good question. It's a fishing thing, by the way. My message to them is going to be based on their overall performance, not just the video. Jeff here from the Outdoor Writing Company. Been looking at your YouTube videos, very impressive. You guys got way too much time on your hands. Have you thought of, or I think I might be, this has shown promise with ABC lures. I'm going to use different examples, different ideas. Now, remember, we talked about the competition. I just threw that out there. I'm talking to John at XYZ, but I mentioned ABC. I know it doesn't probably click right away, but if John's reading that, he's going to see his competitor's name in that message. And he may think, what are they doing that I'm not? Or what am I doing that they're not? Now I've just opened his mind and started thinking. There's a good chance he's going to reach back out to us because of that right there. Now I hope you're seeing the difference about how to craft your DM in relation to the different platforms. We've gone over 3 examples. Now, the bulk of your DM, okay? Your DM is going to be just for that particular prospect. It's not going to be a template that you use for everybody, because they don't work. It's going to be just for that prospect. Now, since I'm talking to John at XYZ Fishing Lures, I'm going to type up, just to keep off to the side, a very large paragraph, a persuasive outreach paragraph specifically designed for John at XYZ Fishing Lures. And I'm going to put everything in there. I'm going to put ABC Lures is doing something like this. Have you thought about doing that? I'm going to put different things in that big paragraph. That's going to be my notes for that prospect. That's where I'm going to draw my information from when I'm crafting my other DMs to those other platforms. Oh, see, now you're seeing the difference there. You've understood there's a difference on platforms. You've understand there's a difference in how to write those DMs for those platforms. And now you understand how to gather that information in just one big giant note for you to draw from. You're going to do this with every single prospect. And you're like, oh God, can I just send a DM on Instagram? Yeah. You won't get anywhere. You won't make any money. Just go right ahead. Chances are next to nil you're going to be successful with that. Knowing what their company is, what their products, goods, and services are, how you relate that to their customer base is how you're going to craft that DM. Now, it's all coming from that block of information that you've gathered and written all about that prospect. So when you're thinking about, crafting that DM for Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, you already have the information in that, your template, your block of info. That's what you're going to draw from to craft that DM. Once you start doing this a few times, practicing it, you are going to see how easy, impactful, and creative your DMs are going to become. And you're going to see a gigantic response rate. Huge response rate. Now, what we do here, it's nothing new. It is new to the individuals like myself and you who own our own companies, which we do. Believe it or not, you are a business owner. Get used to being called a business owner. We do everything. I mean, yeah, I got a team I work with. It's not a huge team. I only work with 3 or 4 different other people on a daily basis within the outdoor writing company. But we do a lot of the work ourselves. This is a game changer. Following these guidelines, this is what top tier agencies do. Except they delegate these tasks all throughout their agency on who is going to be doing what. They turn those notes in to the marketing director, and the marketing director gets with their team, another team, to figure out how to reach out to these businesses they're trying to acquire, or trying to work with. We do it all ourselves. That's the difference here. So knowing how to generate your prospect list, we talked about that. How to pre-qualify them, those 6 steps. Now, how to craft that DM based on the information you've collected. And that block of text that you put together that you can draw that information from. That is such a huge, gigantic, humongous, I can go on a few adjectives, right? We are writers after all. It's a great advantage. It really is. Now, our next episode is going to be even more in depth on crafting your DM, how to use disruptive content, how to be persuasive in your DM, and how to manage all that in one form. Until then, remember, keep prospecting, but do it the right way.